Hey guys, my name's Ben and welcome to Breightmet in Bolton. We've been living here for the last few years and today we're going to do some door knocking. Do you fancy joining us? I want to welcome you to the Mosley Arms pub at the centre of our community. This is where we gather for church on a Sunday. Today we're not here for church, we're going to be taking church out. Every week we've been doing this for the last year, where we prayerfully consider a street that the Lord would have us on, and then we spend an hour on that street knocking on doors, saying hi to people, offering them prayer. So the reason we started door knocking was we'd been prayer walking for a little while on our estate, and as we were prayer walking we just felt the prompting of the Spirit to door knock. So we started. The next week as well as prayer walking, we started to knock on some doors locally. We've prayed, we're good to go. This is Joan, this is Abby. Let's do this. The way we do door knocking is we ask Holy Spirit, which street would you have us go on today? And we have a sense of which street it is, and then as we arrive on the street and as we start knocking on doors, we say we're from the local church, and then we'll say simply, we're praying for your street today and we wondered whether there's anything you need prayer for. And what we found is actually generally if the door is opened 50 to 60% of the time, people want to have a chat. So where did we meet, Zoe?
Well, I already met you, hadn't I, in the Mosley where we do church, the pub, because the landlady there does a drop-in every Wednesday. So you started coming with the children, didn't you? So I talked to you about church, and another lady, Jodie, she talked to you about church. And then I think it was one day when I wasn't around, the guys came down door knocking and spoke to you, and you were already aware of it. And then when I came to church on the Sunday, there you were.
And that was about a year ago.
Yeah, about a year to the day, yeah.
And then 2 weeks ago, we baptised you, Zoe and the three girls, and it was an amazing moment, wasn't it?
We might have millions of people coming up to church from this door knocking, but God's always looking for the one. Yeah, so it was like second or third time we'd been down here, weren't it, prayer walking, and we'd called at a few houses, and it was quite a nice day, and people were going, yeah, but it's really nice to see you, and yeah, but don't knock on that door over there, don't knock on that door. So I looked at Ben and you looked at me, didn't you? I went, right, they've said don't knock on the door, we need to knock on the door. We knocked, didn't we? And all these children's little heads popped round the door. This lady came, started to talk and say we were from a church and we were just saying hello, and they invited us in, didn't they? The mum got quite upset when we said, do you want any prayer? And said, yeah, pray for my son. This 18-year-old boy was in prison. He'd got himself into a bit of trouble because he was depressed, he was in a bad place.
We started to pray and then the phone rang and it was the son from prison. And so we introduced each other, and then since then I've been visiting him. There was a sense that the presence of Jesus was in the room. It was really powerful, wasn't it? So one of the things we did on the back of a few months of door knocking around here was we sensed the Lord saying, I want you to do a barbecue, free barbecue, on a park, this park. We arrived just after lunchtime and people started to say, well, what are you doing? As we were unpacking the barbecue, and these two ladies were in shock. And I said, what's going on, ladies? And they said, this is just weird because this morning we said what our community needs is a barbecue. And then a few hours later you turn up and I say, well, that's Jesus. He knew what was happening and he's reaching out to you.
So we were just talking about faith, and then I was talking about how I was struggling with God. And then it got to the point where I was saying, like, when I gave my life to Jesus, I started to understand about who God is and what he does. It was like no one's ever said that to me before. No one's talked about who Jesus is as a person. Or I just said, do you want to come for a brew? We can explore faith a little bit deeper together. Then I was telling her about Bible study and stuff like that, and she was like, I'm in. She was like, I'll come, I'll try it. She was like, but I'm terrified about church. She feels like this is a God woman. If God exists, he exists today because she's really been struggling.
So tips, practical steps for doing door knocking. Mine would be, listen to the Spirit, be brave. It doesn't take a budget, it just takes an hour of your time.
I think mine would be, don't come with an ulterior motive. Just come with who you are, the love of Jesus.
Just be yourself, just let them know that they're loved, really.
So here's why I'd recommend door knocking. It's fulfilling the Great Commission. It's really quite doable. You don't need a budget, you don't need a staff team. You just need to be brave, you listen to the Spirit, and you never know what Jesus can do. For us, we've seen some beautiful stories of transformation, lives being brought to Jesus, and as well, just community being built.